You know, nature is filled with these incredible secret codes for our health. But what if the key isn't just about finding these powerful plants? What if it's about figuring out how our bodies can actually use them? I mean, think about it. What good is the most potent medicine in the world if it just passes right through you?
And that question is really at the heart of what we're diving into today. For thousands of years, we've been laser focused on what we should eat. But it turns out the real game changer might be how much of it we actually absorb. Because again, what good is a powerful remedy if your body can't even put it to work?
Okay, so that brings us to this key term, bioavailability. Now, I know it sounds super technical, but the idea is actually pretty simple, and it's absolutely crucial. It's just the measure of how much of a substance, a vitamin, a nutrient, whatever, actually makes it into your bloodstream to do its job. Plain and simple, high bioavailability means high impact.
And this, right here, highlights a massive challenge we've been facing. Nature is packed with these amazing healing compounds. I'm talking about things like the curcuminoids you find in turmeric. The problem is, a lot of them are just really, really hard for our bodies to absorb. They're incredibly potent in the plant, but that power is often lost long before it ever reaches our cells.
So what's the solution to this absorption problem? Well, there's an organization called NaturesBlueprint that is totally dedicated to this, and they're creating a new way of thinking about health that connects the incredible diversity of nature directly with our own biology.
Their mission says it all, really. They want to bridge that gap. See, it's not just about finding powerful stuff in nature. That's the biodiversity part. It's about making sure our bodies can actually use it, and that's the biological availability part. They're connecting the source to the final result. This right here is their guiding principle. They call it the soil-to-cell philosophy, and it's such a powerful idea. It basically says that the entire journey of a molecule is what matters, from the moment it's created in the soil to how it's processed, all the way to its delivery to your cells. If any single step in that chain gets broken, well, the benefit is lost.
So here's how they break it all down. They look at everything through this three-part lens. First, you've got the source. We're talking plants, fungi, you name it. Then comes the science. This is the how, and it blends ancient traditions like Ayurveda with cutting-edge biotech. And finally, the delivery. This is all about making sure it gets where it needs to go, using tools from pharmacology and even nanomedicine.
All right, let's see this whole thing in action with what they call their Golden Spice Project. Turmeric is the absolute perfect case study. Why? Because it's incredibly powerful, but it's famously difficult to absorb. That makes it the ideal puzzle for them to solve.
So what is the exact problem with curcumin, that powerhouse compound inside turmeric? Well, it's something called lipophilic. It's just a fancy way of saying it loves fat and, well, it hates water. And since our bodies are mostly water, curcumin has a really tough time getting absorbed. It's literally like trying to mix oil and water. They just don't want to play together. Now, this is where things get really fascinating. It turns out the solution to this very modern scientific problem was actually mapped out thousands of years ago. We're about to see how two completely different worlds, ancient Ayurveda and modern nanoscience, stumbled upon the exact same principle. Check this out. For 5,000 years, Ayurvedic practitioners have used something called an anupana. It's basically a carrier substance. They figured out that to get a fat-loving herb like turmeric into the body, you had to mix it with a fat, like ghee. That fat acts like a little protective vehicle, kind of like a delivery truck for the medicine. And here it is. This is the aha moment. On the left, you have the ancient anupana, using a natural fat to carry the herb. And on the right, a modern nanotech liposome, which is a tiny engineered sphere of fat designed to do the exact same thing. It wraps up the molecule and delivers it straight to our cells. It is the same blueprint, just separated by thousands of years of history. How cool is that? So what happens when you take this ancient principle and you supercharge it with modern 21st century technology? Well, you get a number that looks like this: 2,000%. Yeah, that number represents a 2,000% increase in bioavailability. By basically creating a modern nano-ghee with something called a nanoemulsion, scientists can make curcumin that much more absorbable. This isn't just a tiny improvement, folks. It's a monumental leap forward, and it's all powered by a principle from ancient wisdom. So, what does this all mean for the future of our health? Well, this incredible synergy between ancient wisdom and modern tech, it's not just a cool fact. It's pointing toward a revolution in how we approach medicine and wellness. This next wave of natural medicines, what some are starting to call super nutraceuticals, is going to be all about bioavailability. They're going to be way more potent, which means you'll need smaller doses to get a much bigger effect. They can be targeted to reach specific organs in the body, and what's really important is that they're more sustainable, because we can get a greater effect from less raw material, which helps preserve our planet's amazing biodiversity.
And that just leaves us with this one final really provocative thought to chew on. Turmeric is just one example. What other ancient health blueprints hidden away in traditions all over the globe are just sitting there, waiting for a modern scientific upgrade to unlock their true potential? The answer to that question could literally change the future of medicine.